back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know I'm a week late, but here we are. I thought it would be good to do a March TBR and a January/February book wrap-up, book review type video. I think it would be really interesting if you guys hear my thoughts on certain books I've read the last couple months. And the reason why I'm combining like February and January is because January I did not read that many books at all. I was in such like a reading slump. So I thought it would just be better just to combine them into one big video. And so yeah, let's get into the video. So this is about a girl named Margot who her family dies in a tragic accident and she's like the only survivor of it, and she gets adopted by like her old family friends, like her dad's old family friends, and they have a daughter there who's mute and kind of just hired her to be a companion for her and take care of her, but then things start happening and super crazy, super wild. I don't know. I liked it. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars, maybe a 5 out of 5. I think it was a 4 out of 5. This book, I think it's so much fun. It's not like the most like mind-boggling, crazy plot twist book ever, because you can kind of tell where the story is going from like the 3rd or 4th chapter. You can tell where it's going. But I had a lot of fun with it. It reminded me of a Lifetime movie. There's like a short-lived romance in it that I wish was more developed in it, but it was fine. It was cute in the moment. And I don't know, Margot can be really annoying sometimes. Like, she can make really annoying decisions sometimes. But it is what it is. I had a fun time, and so that's why I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I picked this book up because, listen, I am a huge Pillow Liar stan. Like, I love PLL. I stopped watching, I think, after the time jump. Like, after the... I don't know if it's a spoiler. It's been out for like 10,000 years. So after the CC is a reveal thing, I stopped watching because I didn't really care about the time jump. And also CC being A didn't really make any sense to me, as it probably didn't make sense for most people, you know. But I was like, you know what? I heard the books are crazier. I heard the books are way more, like, have a better ending, have just way more, like, make more sense. So I was like, I'm gonna give the book series a chance. The first book, I gave it I think a 3 out of 5 stars. It's just really slow. I feel like because I've already seen the show, I just know where it's gonna go, you know? And so the fact that, like, you know, it just feels, the pacing just feels really slow. It feels like more should be happening. But if I never had watched the show and I just read this, I think I would give it a higher rating. But because I know where the show is gonna go, or where the book's kind of gonna go, and it just feels like it's really slow because I'm like anticipating some more happening. Because they're fast reads. I mean, I finished this in probably like 3 days, maybe. It's a fast read. I don't know. That's why, yeah, I'm anticipating more to happen. So for it to be a first book to kind of like the pilot of the series, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. Next one we have is The Lake. So this one is about 2 girls who go back to their childhood camp to work as counselors. And when they were campers there years ago, during their last summer there, they did something really, really bad. And now as counselors, that bad thing is kind of coming back to haunt them. I give this like a 2 out of 5 stars. I did not really love this book at all. It was, for one, it's a really like slow read. I don't know. I wanted more from it. I really was like, oh, you know, a summer camp setting, like a mystery, like whodunit kind of, like, would have been so cool. Like, the best parts of this book are literally like what the bad guy is doing, because it's like the bad guy is kind of like doing things to these girls to kind of freak them out, and that's like the best part of the book. I just find that like the characters are really annoying. Like, every character is like, but like the friendship in this book is like so toxic and so unhealthy. Like, the best friend just gaslights the main girl the entire time, and I don't know, it's just like not a fun read for me. Like, it took me a while to get through this because it was just so slow, and I was like, what the heck is happening? I feel like if I saw this in a movie, in like a movie format, I would be like more okay with it, but in a book it's just really slow. It's really like anticlimactic. It's just not hoot and a half, you know? And I know that Natasha Preston is like a whole like thriller series author, and maybe I'll give another one of her books a try, but as of right now, this one's a 2 out of 5. Fine Girls by Riley Sager. I just found out today that Riley Sager is a guy. I could have swore, and maybe this is biased because I think of Riley as like, well, I did know a boy Riley when I was like a kid, but I just think of Riley as like a female name. I don't know. That might be kind of problematic of me, but whatever. Now, 3 girls who go through their own separate massacre, found girl situation, and then they're labeled as found girls by society, and one of the first found girls ends up dead, and then the second found girl ends up at the doorstep of the of another found girl trying to figure out what happened. And was it like a self-deletion? Was it a murder? Like, what was it? Like, what happened? I gave this a like 3.75 out of 5 stars. It was okay. Like, the first few chapters are really slow, and then there's like a middle part that's like really slow too. Like, a lot of this is kind of like, how do I explain? I don't know. It's just like a lot of this is really, really slow. For me, I like books that, like, they're mysteries. I kind of like them where it's like, you know, like the companion where it just like jumps into the plot. The characters were all kind of annoying. Like, the only character I really liked was the cop character, Coop. Like, the main two girls kind of sucked, and the boyfriend was awful and super toxic. And it's just like, it's just one of those books that's kind of like, there's no one that you're reading about that's like enjoyable. But yeah, the best parts of this book are literally the flashbacks and the ending. Like, the last like fourth of the book saved it for me, because like I like the first fourth of it and the last fourth of it, but the middle part is really slow. I mean, it's not a bad book. I gave it a 3.75. That's like a low B. That's not bad. So I'd say if you want to read something that's like this, like, get it for sure. This book right here was amazing. I read this in like, I think like 2 days. I read this, I was on a vacation, and I read this at the airport, and I finished it like the day I got back, and I loved it. It was so good. It's the last thing he told me, and another book that just jumps right into the plot. There's no like diddle daddle, you know? It just jumps right into the freaking plot, and that's what I love. I don't need a bunch of backstory. I just want you to jump right into the plot and give me content, you know? So this book is about this wife, what's her name? Hannah. This book is about Hannah, who's married to Owen and has a stepdaughter named Bailey. And Hannah, and Bailey don't really get along. Bailey literally hates Hannah, for no reason. This entire book, it's kind of awful. And one day, Owen just up and disappears. The reason why I only give it like a 4.5 is I didn't love the ending. I wanted more to happen in the ending. It just seemed like too like wrapped up in a bow, because I feel like maybe, I don't know if the author, it's like the author didn't want to make anyone the bad guy, you know? It's like the author was like, everyone's innocent, everyone's a victim, everyone has a reason, instead of being like, okay, no, someone literally is just the bad guy. Like, why can't we all just agree that someone is a bad guy? There should have been more action in this book, I feel like, because in my brain, I feel like I went into this with a different expectation. I went into this thinking it was going to be like, oh, Owen disappears, now she's just like fighting off bad guys or something. I gave it 4.5 because Bailey, the daughter, is really insufferable the entire time. Like, she's just so mean, and it's just awful, and it just kind of sucks, and it's kind of a downer the entire time. And I don't know, I didn't really love the ending, didn't love Bailey's character, but the plot and Hannah and the backstory and all this was really, I was really interesting, intriguing. I mean, obviously I read this in like 2 days, so not even 2 days, in like, I guess like in like a day. So, I don't know, I would recommend this book highly. I think if you want like a quick, I mean, it's not like, it's pretty thick. If you want like a good thriller, definitely dive into this book. It's a lot of fun. It's super suspenseful. It's a good thriller. Yeah, period. So the last book I read last month was Cover Story. This book is essentially like the same thing as the Anna Delvey case. For those who don't know about that, that whole case is about a German, I'm gonna say European. I think she's just a European girl who didn't come from like the best life, came into America and kind of like conned her way into the social elite, you know? And so it's pretty much the same thing as, I mean, it's exactly the same thing as this plot. It literally is like saying like, oh, this is like for the Anna Delveys of the world, because me, honestly, queen. But this book, I give it a 3.5 out of 5 because there was so much hope for this book. I wanted more. I wanted more conning. I wanted more. This book is about a girl named Laura who goes to intern at Elle magazine and meets our main girl, Kat, and kind of gets thrown into her world, and Kat isn't who she says she is, and it's a whole, like, not really a mystery, but a whole, like, drama, I guess. I don't know what the best way to call this. A lot of development in the plot, I feel like, because there's like chunks of so like one of the big things is in the book is that Kat and Laura are trying to write a book together, right? That's literally it. That's the whole plot. It's kind of like annoying because I want it to be more like Anna Delvey's actual like life, more kind of like that. Like I think I would rather this be from like Kat's perspective, and I know that like that would kind of defeat the purpose of like Laura meeting her and you know all the ending and stuff like that. But like I wanted this more. I think this plot would be clear from like Kat's perspective, and she's talking about how she cons people, how you know the party she goes to, the live she does, like why she wants to write a book, all this other stuff, you know. But like we don't get that much into Kat's character like at all, like. And also, like, that whole plot twist of her being, like, a con artist isn't really a plot twist because they tell you that from, like, the second chapter. Not even, like, the first chapter that that the FBI was trying to find her. And so, I don't know. I just wanted more. I feel like there's a bunch of concepts that could have been really, really cool if they were developed on, right? For example, like, they go to, like Laura and Kat go to, like, parties and go on a vacation to, like, I think it's Vail. No, it's Lake Tahoe. They go on vacation to Lake Tahoe. They go to parties, blah, blah, blah. And all those scenes are just skipped over. Like, I'm telling you, like, it's like, oh, we went to Lake Tahoe. And now we're back in New York City. It's like, I wanted more, like, I don't know. And maybe, I don't know. I just feel like I just want more development into, like, the rich girl life. And, like, that's where I was kind of excited to read this book. Because I was like, oh, it's going to be kind of like Great Gatsby meets, like, con artist meets Anna Delvey meets this and this, you know? Like, I wanted to be more like luxury and excitement and like Laura just really is in over her head. But like never is Laura really astonished by like the wealth and stuff like that. Just kind of like whatever. And like I don't know, I just wanted this to be like a different, I don't know, ending maybe? I don't freaking know. I also didn't really love the ending. I felt the ending was kind of like it was kind of spoiled really, really early on, in my opinion. And also, I feel like I just have a better ending in my head, and maybe I'll go into like a deep dive of it one day, but I had a better ending in my head about what I wanted to happen, and it didn't happen, so I was very much let down. And she didn't want to make her, like, didn't want to make Kat the villain in this, and, because, I mean, like, in real life, Anna Delvey, like, yeah, she schemed the rich elite, you know, but some of those people became her friends, but she still, like, tried to scam them and stuff, you know, and I want more of that, where it's, like, you know, Kat, you know, is a scam artist and is a con artist, you know, and she's not a good person. She tries to scam other people. That never happens, ever. And it just really sucks, because I wanted more of, like, conniving con artist stuff like that, but it didn't happen. So that's why it's 3.5. Now let's move on to my TBR for this month. We have The Hunting Party. This is the book I'm reading right now. I'm about halfway through. Essentially, this is about a group of friends who go away for the weekend for New Year's Eve, or for New Year's, and someone ends up dead. And this book right now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm already kind of feeling a 3 on the 3 scale because it's really slow. Next book I have is Room Service. This is about another similar kind of thing. A group of friends, a group of high school friends, get together the year after a death of some sort. Someone's death, boom, maybe they killed someone, and now someone's trying to kill them. So it's a very short read, and it's very big words. I mean, you can't really tell. I'm not trying to like spoil anything, so let me put it on like a random page. I'll put it on the first page. It's very big text. I mean, you can see from there. It's very big text, and like it's not that long. So I feel like it'll be like a quick little weekend read. You know, I can read this in a bath maybe. Like something that's like not super like intensely not well developed, but like super intense writing or anything like that. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I don't know, things I adore. This one is about, I really don't know, because the back is kind of confusing. So it seems like there was a couple of friends who went to this art camp, and someone dies, and now years later they go back to that art camp as adults to try to figure out what really happened. It's kind of what it sounds like. I guess it sounds less confusing the way I worded it, but on the back it's very confusing. But I started this once, and I stopped it because I realized it had a male POV in it, and don't know how I feel about that. But I'm going to read it anyways. Our next one is Gerald's Game. I mean, I'm pretty sure most of you guys have heard of this one before, but for those who don't know, it's about a couple who go away for a weekend, obviously, and while during their intimate time during their sexy times. The husband handcuffs her to the bed and ends up having a heart attack, and now she has to figure out how to get like unchained from this bed, all while going through her own like traumatic past or something. I watched the movie. I love this movie. I recommend this movie to like literally everyone because it's so good. And I'm excited to read the book. I feel like the book is gonna be I feel like the book is gonna be a lot. I feel like the book is gonna be a lot sadder. Oh my gosh, why is it so hard to say? Than like the movie is, because I feel like for those, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's a certain part in the movie that I feel like is gonna be like maybe more developed in the book, which is gonna be really like unsettling and really sad. But I'm excited to read it. And I've never read a Stephen King book before, and maybe this will be like my first down the rabbit hole of Stephen King books. We shall see. So yeah, my next one I have is Before She Knew Him. This one's about a wife and husband, obviously, and it's about a wife who has bipolar disorder and sees her neighbor doing some stuff and sees that her neighbor has an item of some sort connected to a past homicide, and now thinks that her neighbor may be a serial killer. But she doesn't know if this is like a reality, just like, you know, the truth, or she's just having one of her like manic episodes. Because in the past, she's also accused someone of something and then also hurt that person. And my last of this month is The Grace Year. This is the book I'll probably read after I finish the one I'm reading right now. Essentially, it's about a group of girls that when they turn, or a society of girls that when they turn 16, they have to go into the woods to kind of expel all their magic. But not everyone makes it back, because some people get hunted in the woods, some people will get murdered in the woods, some people will, you know, should just be popping off. And the girls have to kind of work together to figure out how they're going to survive this year-long, you know, expedition in the woods. And it kind of reminds me, listen, I just started watching Yellow Jackets. I just finished the first season, and it's giving that vibe, but like more like dystopian. And I'm so excited to read this because I hope it's like Yellow Jackets in a way. Healthier friendships, hopefully. But I hope it's like Yellow Jackets, and I'm excited to read it. And it just really gives me like Hunger Games. It might be like Hunger Games meets Yellow Jackets. Is kind of what the vibe is. So I'm excited to read it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching with this video. Let me know what your books you read this month were down below, and what your books you're going to be reading in March are. And let me know also what you want to see on my channel. I'm hoping to do more like video gaming stuff and movie stuff and this and that and that. I just have a lot of ideas, and so let me know what you think is working, what you think is not working. Please tell me. And I love you guys so much, and thank you for watching. Bye!